An innocent man was convicted for a crime committed by someone else. Back at home, he had a wife who was paralyzed. He had young kids, and he was scared at the thought of seeing them moving to foster homes. He had made up his mind that jailbreak was the only resort. He asked one of his fellow captives, who was a monk, to help him plan his freedom. The monk was hesitant and said the act wasn't right. The monk was also serving the sentence to save a young woman who had committed the crime as a force of circumstance. But after knowing how the young man was also being punished for the crime he never committed and that his family was suffering without him, the monk agreed to help. He said, "I can only give you clues, but you have to find your own way out." He said, "There is a rat hole on the northern wall of the prison which leads to the waste pipes that fall straight into the river. If you can manage to make a way for yourself, you might escape." The man thanked him, and before he left, the monk gave him the clue. "Do while you see, and see while you do." "What does this mean?" the man asked. The monk said, "You will soon understand." Thinking about his escape, he rushed to the northern wall and ignored what the monk said. As he stepped closer, he saw the rat hole and frantically started digging it. He digged for 7 consecutive nights, and finally through the hole he saw a dead end. Furious, he ran to the monk and said, "Were you kidding me? You know how desperately I need to get back home." The monk said, "Remember the clue I gave you, and the answer lies in it. Do while you see, and see while you do. Go to the northern wall and you will find your way out." The man went back to the northern wall and, unable to decipher the clue he gave up, he sat on one corner, but the monk's words kept ringing in his ears. As he stood up and trudged along the wall, his eyes fell on another hole a little far from where he had started. A ray of hope. He started digging at once. After around a week of digging, he could hear the gushing of water nearby. He kept digging harder, and finally towards the dawn, he found his way out. Before leaving, he went to the monk. He kneeled over and said, "Now I know what your clue meant. Do while you see, and see while you do." Do while you see means to constantly strive towards your dream, but don't forget to see while you do means to explore new possibilities, new ways, or switch your tactics as circumstances change. You will find several tactics about consistency, but they're just means to an end and not the end itself. Very few will tell you that consistency is a process and not the end. There is a reason consistency is different from persistence, but they are closely interrelated. Without persistence, you cannot be consistent. No matter how authentic the goal is, no matter how motivated you are, no matter how well you schedule it, one fall and you know it takes a lot to stand up and start all over. Most give up here. The journey is gonna change course, and that has high possibility to make you inconsistent. So before adopting all the tactics available on social media to stay consistent, build enough persistence muscle to carry the weight of constancy. Withstand what comes your way and change course when required. But by any means, stay at it, because only a persistent mindset creates a consistent behavior. Thank you.